Come on, Matt, don't get excited. That's a 3.
It's a pretty tight-knit community, and our whole team's pretty tight.
We're in a small school, so everyone knows everyone.
Turn it up. Nice catch, Yvonne. Good.
I've grown up with Trey. I met him in 1st grade, and ever since then, we've had a group of 6 of us that have just ran around together and been friends ever since.
He was amazing. He was one of our best playmakers on defense and offense. There's no quit in him whatsoever. Like, Trey didn't know the definition of quit.
Updates on Trey. I did talk to Mr. Johnson today, and I don't know, remember, I told you guys yesterday he had a great day. Keep thinking about him. Just every day it's getting better. He said up to 80 words. Is that what you said yesterday?
Yeah, he's gained 5 pounds in the last 3 days, so
Awesome.
we're on our way back.
It was a freak accident, I think. It could have happened to anybody, but he just put his head in a bad position, went to tackle a guy, and just got hit right here.
Say box. There you go. Batter. Batter's box. There you go.
That's Trey. He intercepts the pass right there. And you wish he'd just run straight ahead, but he's trying to fight for more yardage, and right here is towards the end of the play. So this is our game against Eaton on October 12th. They have a hold of each other, more or less. And here's the end of it right here. But nothing to brace his fall to the ground, and he just hits his helmet right there on the ground. He doesn't show any residual after this. He stands up and gets off and runs off and is congratulated by players.
I was on the sideline because the defense was out there when Caleb and all them started realizing that Trey wasn't himself. Even when he was still out there, to me, he looked like himself, except for like one play he missed a tackle, which just isn't like him.
Well, we noticed it. We saw that his face was red. He was tearing up.
And he started complaining of a really bad headache, and then he went unresponsive, and he was unresponsive from halftime for 12 days. His teammates probably saved his life.
This is the flattest basketball I think I've ever seen. Just do it. You need. Get your frustrations out on the basketball. Please be nice and do it. What do you think? Can you try one more time? If it's really not going to work, then we can dribble it with our feet.
This is certainly much more severe than your typical concussion. The things that were really medically emergent for him were the bleeding in his head as well as the swelling of his brain.
Today he's very aware that he's not able to do certain things, and that's become very frustrating for him.
Hey, other foot?
Most likely, Trey will, as the months to years go on, Trey will have some deficits from his brain injury. Whether they will be relatively minor deficits or whether he'll have more significant deficits in terms of cognition, it's hard to say. I think it's very challenging for coaches. There are lots and lots and lots of hits to the head that don't cause concussions.
I'm trying to watch 11 players at once, and so you're doing the best you can. But Trey moved and he communicated. Trey was talking. He was in the right spot. You know, he didn't run a wrong route. He didn't run a wrong direction. Trey's the kind of kid, just like most of these other young men out here, they're not going to tell me when they're hurt. Very rarely does that happen. And in Trey's situation, one of his peers, one of his teammates came up to me and said, hey, you need to make sure you check Trey out. He doesn't seem right.
We're on the field, and he's holding his head and asking him if he's okay, and he said he didn't know. And so I told the coaches to check on him, and then he went into the locker room, and that's when everything happened, and it was rough.
I think he's being more modest about it. I don't really think he was a hero, you know, in his mind, but when we talked to him, he did a great thing. And he had to step outside that zone. And I've confronted him, would you have told me about you? And he said, probably not. And I said, will you now in the future? He goes, I don't know. He goes, but I'll let you know when somebody else needs it. I said, that's what I need to hear. And then, you know, we had to continue to work on the individual themselves, too.
Stop moving.
We're all set up down there so that he's watching it from his rehab room right now. So we worked hard with that and just trying to make sure Trey's able to understand everything and keep everything in order, because a lot of this he doesn't remember.
I'd like to present the certificate to number 22, honorable mention all conference, Trey Johnson.
Trey got honorable mention all conference, and that was a huge deal for him, and I know it affected him quite a bit.
Hey, I'm going to give your awards to your mom so you can have them, okay? I'm very proud of you. We miss you.
You know, everybody wants to stay in the game. Nobody's willing to come out because you have a little head injury or headache. If your teammate is at a point where they're struggling and they're having a problem, they need to be out of the game.
This one has just your lips here in one spot.
Because I will tell you, Trey has not enjoyed any minute of this 2 months.
My name? Yeah, Christy Burton.
And, you know, he is getting better, but he's still very frustrated. It will be a long road. It's a very long journey for him.